Hey guys, welcome to BrainyBuddies. Today we are going to learn about chemistry, chemical equations. We're going to learn about the basic concepts of chemistry such as chemical formulas, chemical equations and how to balance them. What are chemical formulas? A chemical formula tells us which elements are present in a compound and how many atoms of each element it contains. So, as you can see in K2CO3, this is a chemical formula, right? It it shows us what elements are there. There is potassium, and then carbon, and then oxygen. Perfect. It also tells us how many atoms that each element contains. Potassium contains two atoms, carbon only contains one atom, and oxygen contains three atoms. Now, the small subscript numbers that you see indicate quantity of the atoms just after the elements. So 2 and 3, they are the small subscript numbers which indicate the quantity of the atoms. How many atoms are there? Now you might ask, then why doesn't carbon have any subscript number after it? Well, carbon has only one atom in this chemical formula. And if an element only has one atom in the formula, then the number 1 is not shown. It is just unnecessary to show the number 1. So you don't have to worry about that. Let's move on to the next topic. Our next topic is chemical equation. What is a chemical equation? A chemical equation is a way to represent a chemical reaction using symbols and formulas and subscript numbers and etc. It shows us how reactants, which are the starting substances, change into products, which are the new substances formed. Now, what are the reactants in this chemical equation? We have 2H2, that is one reactant, and then O2, which is another reactant. These together react with each other and then they form into the product, which is the new substance formed, which is 2H2O. Easy, right? Let's see more about reactants and products. Reactants are, of course, the starting substances in a chemical reaction. They are written on the left side of the arrow or the left hand side. So they react with each other and they operate with each other to form the new substances. And products. What are products now? They're the new substances formed as a result of the chemical reaction. They are written on the RHS, right hand side or right side with the arrow. They are the result or outcome of the reaction. So why balance the chemical equation? So matter cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction, right? And the number of atoms of each element must be same on both sides of the equation. If you write 3 hydrogen atoms on the left hand side and 2 hydrogen atoms on the right hand side, will that be balanced? No, and that won't even make sense. So as you can see here, we have a balanced equation which is 2H2 plus O2 equals 2H2O. How is it balanced? Well, 2H2 is already written here and the hydrogen contains two atoms which are doubled. So that will create the 2H2. And O2 is also here because the 2 in front of H2O, that itself will give you 2 to the O. And that's how it's balanced. Now let's see some examples and general tips to balance the equations. Start with elements that appear only once on each side and then balance metal first, then non-metals, and then oxygen or hydrogen at last. Use whole numbers, coefficients only. No fractions or decimals can be used. And don't change subscripts. They can never be changed. They'll automatically be in the equation, but they can never be changed by yourself. Example H2O stays only H2O, not H3O, not H4O. And check your work by counting atoms on both sides. So let's move on. This is a balanced equation and this is the pictorial representation of the balanced equation. So 2H2, here we can see the hydrogen atoms are already double, like 2, and they doubled with the 2 in front of them. So it will create 4. Here we have 4 hydrogen atoms, as you can see. Then O2. What is O2? It just means 2 oxygen atoms, like this. Here are 2 oxygen atoms. Now, what will it represent if it was 2O2? It will represent 4 oxygen atoms, right? But for now, it is O2, which is 2 oxygen atoms. And then this together forms 2H2O, which means there will, of course, be 4 hydrogen atoms with 2 oxygen atoms. It just means 2 water drops.